It's time to get to the bottom of the suspected Sonos Move battery drain issue once and for all. Hi everyone, it's Jonathan from Smart Home Sounds. If you're new here, then welcome to our channel, and if you're a regular, welcome back. In this video, we're going to fully test out the Sonos Move battery life to get to the bottom of the potential battery drain issue that some Sonos customers seem to be experiencing, which we've seen on forum threads and tweets. We have sold thousands of these Move units, but if there are issues coming back, then we will of course address them, even if Sonos doesn't. So in this video, we will be running a number of tests. So test 1 will be how much the battery drains over 5 days when the Move is turned on and off every day for 5 days. The next test will be to charge the Move to 100% and then turn it off and turn it on again after 5 days. This will enable us to see if there's any battery drain issues relating to powering on and off the unit, or whether it's just a drain over time, irrespective of the power being turned on and off. The next test will relate to its general battery life from 100% to 0%, so how much the battery drains when the Move is turned on, not playing anything, and it's not on the charging dock. And finally, the last test will be how long the battery lasts when the Move is on and playing music at 50% volume. So we wanted to be thorough with this so it covers all of the existing issues that have been raised. You might be here watching this video because you're expecting more from the battery life of your existing Sonos Move off the dock, or because you're considering investing in a Sonos Move and have seen some of the threads about this problem. Now, a quick summary if you're unaware, the Sonos Move is Sonos's portable speaker, which offers both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi compatibility. It's a durable, weatherproof speaker which comes with a charging dock. Sonos claim it offers 11 hours of battery life. It used to be 10 hours, but they did update that to 11 hours via a software update. Now, we've got lots of content on YouTube for the Sonos Move, including a full in-depth test and review if you want to find out more info on it. Okay, let's crack on with what you guys are here for then. Now, we've got a couple of Sonos Moves in the office, and a few members of the team have a Move at home which they are really enjoying and haven't come across any problems with battery drain in their experience with these speakers. So when we were contacted by some of our customers and read the claims online, we were a little surprised, so decided to do a thorough test to work out what could be going on here. So the first test that we carried out was how much the Move's battery drained when we turned the unit on and off to see if this process had an effect on battery life. Now, it is important to note that to turn the Sonos Move completely off, you must hold down the power button on the back until you hear a chime like this. If you've not done this, then you will find that the battery drains much quicker because it's still on a standby mode. Firstly, we made sure the Sonos Move was at 100% battery before we turned it off, and then when we turned it back on to see what the battery status showed, it was still at 100%, so no drain having turned it on and off once. Secondly, we then turned it on and off once a day for a period of 5 days. After the first day, the Move was now at 97%, so a 3% battery drain after 24 hours of being off. We repeated the process over the next 4 days, turning it off for 24 hours, turning it back on to check the battery level, and then back off again for a further 24 hours. So after 48 hours, the Move battery was at 92%, so a further 5% battery drain. After 72 hours, it was at 85%, so a further 7% drain. After 96 hours, it was at 80%, so again another 5% drain. And finally, after 102 hours, it was at 74%, so a further 6% drain again. So after a total of 5 days being powered on once a day to check the battery life, the Move battery had drained by a total of 26%. The next test we conducted was to see how much the battery drained after being completely switched off for a total of 5 days. Now, this one was an interesting one because, again, we made sure it was at 100% before switching off, and then when we came to switch it back on again after the 5-day period, it was at 74%, so a 26% drain, which is exactly the same result that we got from the previous test, switching it on and off once a day. This suggests if you leave it off for a longer period of, let's say, 20 days, it's likely it will have lost all of its charge and it will need to go on the charging base. Now, this is not the sort of level that you'd expect it to drain when it's completely off. However, we were seeing on the forums that it was losing 50 to 60% after 24 hours in some cases, which is very different to what we found, and it could be due to not being completely switched off. Having run both tests, we would deduce that it's time elapsing that's causing the battery drain of around 5% per day. Now, 5% battery drain per day when turned off, though, is more than we would have expected, and some people would like Sonos to comment on this to see if they have any reason for this drain when the device is completely powered off. What this test does show to us is that the Move wasn't designed to be an out-and-out portable speaker which you take away on breaks, etc., which in previous reviews we have highlighted due to its size and weight. Instead, the Move does a great job as a home speaker, moving from kitchen to garden or bedroom to bathroom, for example. Therefore, you're likely to have it on and off the charging base, which would potentially eliminate this battery drain problem. I'll just highlight that leaving the Move on the charging dock for longer periods of time will not affect the Move's battery life cycle, which is around 900 battery charges. So our advice, if you intend not to use the Move for an extended period of time, would be to either turn it off completely and just expect that when you come to turn it back on again, you will need to put it on the charging base so that it can recoup some lost battery, or simply keep it on the charging base. You could also purchase an additional charging base to have one in different rooms of your home if you wanted to. So from our tests and from experience with customers, these are the average results you're going to get. If you're looking for a speaker that you can leave turned off and not on charge for weeks, then this might not be the right choice for you. However, if you intend to use the speaker as we feel it has been designed to be used, so moved around your home and taken on and off the dock with that as its main base, then you won't find this an issue. So the second test we carried out was leaving the Sonos Move on, not on charge, but also not playing anything. After 24 hours, the Move's battery was at 64%, so a 36% battery drain, and after 48 hours, it was at 27%, so a total of 73% drain. This isn't necessarily surprising for us, and a key factor for the Move here is that it's connected by Wi-Fi, so it's constantly active, which means that any time you can play audio through it, or it could be grouped to any other speakers in your home. To make this a seamless experience for the user, the Move is naturally going to use power waiting for a command so you don't experience any delays. Of course, you have the option to completely power the speaker off to reduce the battery drain as we talked about earlier, or you can keep the Move on the charging base when it's not in use. The final test we carried out, and one we have done before, is a test to see how long the Move's battery lasts while off the dock and playing music over Wi-Fi at 50% volume. In our test, the Move died after 11 hours and 24 minutes in these conditions, which is better than we were expecting. In our previous test, when the Move was first released, before the extra hour of battery life was added, in the same conditions, the Move lasted for 10 hours and 15 minutes. So from these tests, I would say that Sonos are pretty spot on with battery life, and this highlights the value of free software updates. So what's our verdict then on the battery life issue on the Move? Is it fact or fiction? Well, it's definitely a fact, but whether it's an issue to you depends on how you look at it. Our advice to avoid the battery drain issue is simply to leave the Move on the charging base when it's not in use, or you'll just have to acknowledge, unfortunately, that it may need to be charged for a bit if it's been off for a long period of time. Let's not forget though how quickly the Sonos Move charges when it's on the charging base. It takes about an hour and a half to charge from 0% to full, which for its size is pretty impressive. So it'll be ready to use after a long period of not being used pretty much instantly when you put it back on the charging base. Now of course the battery drain over time is slightly more than we would expect, but we feel most people won't even notice this in their day-to-day usage. The Move was created as a speaker to move from the kitchen to the garden, for example, so if you've got it on and off the charging dock for a few hours, you shouldn't experience any issues with battery. This isn't what we would call an out-and-out battery-powered portable speaker. This is more of a durable speaker, which is a hybrid between a portable and a home Wi-Fi speaker. As I mentioned earlier, having the Move on the charger doesn't impact the battery life cycle, and you can also purchase a second dock, as a few of our customers have, to keep the Move on its charging dock in multiple rooms. Hopefully you found this video helpful. We did put a lot of time and effort into this one for you guys, so if you did enjoy it, then do give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.